Today, I'm going to share a few things that did not go to plan. When using unique materials, some things are bound to be a little bit more difficult than one would hope. One morning, we found our string line torn off and wrapped all around this tree. Apparently, a deer was inspecting our work in the night and got caught up on it. First, we're going to talk about issues with building the block wall. These blocks are regularly used for retaining walls and all kinds of applications, but this application is unique and has special challenges. The plan was to set the first race of blocks in place, dig behind them down 4 foot, and attach the foam board to them using 22 caliber concrete nails and 2x6s. It's hopefully easily apparent why this is risky and should never ever be done this way. This did not work out. Trench collapse is a dangerous scenario and never worth the time it may save. Because of the interlocking nature of the concrete blocks, when one falls, it pulls the rest with it. We intentionally made sure no one was nearby at this time. No damage was done, just a little bit of time was lost, and a great example to share. Burying the foam board, backfilling, and extensive compacting before setting the blocks in place is an absolute requirement. Our original design of the high tunnel included several connections directly to the blocks. These included the rear supports anchored as shown here. This originally seemed like a good idea because we could save some steel costs, and these blocks are easily strong enough to support the system. The blocks proved much harder to drill than standard concrete. Some of the blocks are made from extra concrete used for pouring highways. That meant they had very hard aggregate within them that was extremely difficult to drill through. Many drill bits gave their lives to accomplish this project. Another area where this problem arose was attaching the wiggle wire channels. Attaching the channel directly to the block wasn't feasible, so we nailed 2-inch wood members to attach the channel. None of these connections were easy, and avoiding drilling and attaching to the concrete blocks is a great recommendation. The best solution is often the simplest one. Do not attach to the blocks in any way. I recommend keeping the blocks freestanding and the frame fully supported like shown here. This allows the same attachment method for the baseboards and the covering layers throughout the whole system, which makes it simpler to assemble. It also allows flexibility to use this frame without the concrete blocks if a climate battery is preferred. The soil below the blocks was carefully compacted, leveled, and a string line used to ensure that they were set straight and true. It is common to use these blocks as freestanding walls in bulk storage bins for aggregate, security walls, hoop buildings, and many other kinds of applications. However, in the following spring, after building the high tunnel, the blocks started to lean outward. Adding a few blocks as a buttress against the outside of the wall quickly stabilized everything. But what's going on here? As the temperature decreases in the winter, our ground outside the structure freezes and expands. The soil inside doesn't freeze, which actually I hadn't been expecting. In the spring, the ground outside thaws and shrinks back down, causing the walls to tilt outward. Alternatively, the first race of blocks should be recessed below grade, at least halfway, to avoid this seasonal movement. The use of insulative batting, fiberglass, or rock wool type insulations proved to be another problem. Despite all of the efforts to get the tarps tight enough, the batting would sag in the cavity between tarps. This was easily visible with the infrared camera. Utilization of rigid foam board instead worked really well. I was expecting to need a retractable roof vent to help with cooling in the summer. To facilitate this, I installed a double wire lock channel across the top. I ended up not needing a ridge vent because the lower vent and blocks alone were sufficient to keep up with cooling. However, this remaining channel ended up causing several problems. Its location on the roof prevents rain from running off, allowing a collection point. When the water does try to run off, it runs into the channel and drips into the high tunnel, causing several wet puddle spots that tend to stay a little bit too wet for many plants' liking. When we get rain, most of the water running off the roof will run and drip off the rolled up vent into the structure. This can result in waterlogged growing spaces along the location of the vent. Instead of installing the roll-up pipe perfectly level, let it be a little bit higher in the middle so that the water will run off the sides instead, at least during the lighter rains. If you have any other ideas or comments or suggestions, please leave them below in the comments. In the next video, we're going to delve back into climate battery design and talk about fan curves, pressure drops, and manifold designs. This video was funded in part by USDA's South Dakota Specialty Crop Block Grant. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'd also love to know your thoughts. Comment down below and let's chat. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more content like this.